Hello. If you're living in the same hemisphere I live in, then you're probably approaching summertime. That's the reason I wanted to talk about my favorite film stocks to use in summertime. And yeah, maybe you find something that's good for you too. The main thing about summer is, of course, that there's so much light. So ideally, you want to pick something with a low ISO number. And my favorite film stock was, I'm gonna explain that soon, was Fujicolor Fuji C200, which has sadly been discontinued by Fujifilm. And yeah, they still do it. They changed the name, I think, and of course it's not the same film stock it was. Anyway, I found a few rolls at a lab I buy film from last summer. So I had one last year, and I think I'm preserving the second roll I got for this summer. It's only 24 exposures though, so I'm gonna enjoy even more the role I'll be shooting. Last summer was then a bit of a research one, to find a new film stock or new film stocks I could use during summertime. And I found in particular one that I really loved, even though it started off not good because of an error I did, and I'm gonna tell you about that in a little while. Before that, I just wanted to say that if you're an analog film vibe enthusiast, then you might want to use or have a film look in your footage, in your clips as well. And I recently did a video review for the Answer people, and I think that's the perfect fit for my style. So if that's something you could be interested into, I did the review. You can find it on my YouTube channel as well, and there's also a promo code. So back to what we were talking about. Last year's discovery was 100 film stock. Of course, they've started cutting the grass right now. I hope you can't hear that. Anyways, yeah, the 100 film it's very fun to shoot with, especially during summer. And I was surprised by it because as a 100 film stock, it's supposed to have a narrower latitude or tolerance of light conditions and in development. As I mentioned, I let my camera on 800 ISO, the previous roll I had on that camera, which is also a point and shoot camera. I already talked about it. It's the Olympus XA2, and yeah, turns out it's a 100 ISO film, and I realized that halfway through the roll, circa, I had a brief talk with the guy at the lab I work with, and he said, okay, let's set it at 100 and see how it goes. Well, I was pretty surprised by the results, as the first half of the roll I was in Sicily, so you can imagine harsh sun conditions, very bright backgrounds, and stuff. And the pushing and development by the lab turned out beautiful because it's exactly that contrasty vibe and very colorful pictures that is exactly my style of photography. So I was pretty happy in how they turned out. The second half of the roll came out also manageable. It was manageable to recover from the overexposure, and I had some really nice results with it. So definitely give that one a try. My other strong options for summer are, of course, Kodak Portra 160, especially on medium format. Well, medium format is beautiful in any with any film stock, really. Just kidding. So yeah, that one is a sure hit. Maybe it's not as saturated and it's warm, but not as saturated as I'd like my images to be. So it's a good choice. Not the best, in my opinion, of course. And then you can find Ektar, Kodak Ektar. That's more on the vibrant side of things with that reddish tone. If you like Kodak Ektar, you're probably going to love 100 film. And then what do we have more? Yeah, Kodak Gold 200 is always a solid choice. Also pretty cheap as you can get with Kodak film, I think. Another good option is Pro Image 100, which is, to my taste at least, a bit too flat in the warm tones, but in full sun conditions it's a solid choice as well. And then last but not the least, we have a Kodak Ultramax, which is a 400 ISO film, which is just about the sweet spot to have the right latitude to bring some results back, both in sunny and overcast conditions. I really loved it using it in our Portugal trip a few years back. I will leave you with some results of that film stock during that summer. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for color film stocks to use in summer. Let me know if you try some of these and how it goes for you, what you like and what you don't like. If you find something that I can try as well, I'd love that, of course. And see you next time. Bye bye.